Hello and welcome to my stream. Tonight we play more of RollerCoaster Tycoon Deluxe and we'll be continuing the Dusty Desert, which was a very challenging level. Of course, it hasn't been the worst because it's one of those coaster building objectives that it has. So it demands a lot of attention, a lot of attempts for us to complete the coasters so they can get to what they are asking. And in this case, they are asking for the coasters to have 7 of excitement rating. So it is hard, but in comparison to some previous levels like that, I think this one has been okay. Although we struggled, yes, we struggled more than what I thought in the first coaster we were building last time. So tonight, I hope that because there is this thing that if you have coasters that are very near to each other, or even if they somewhat cross each other, or if you can kind of combine multiple coasters together, that adds more to the excitement rating. So I'm hoping that today with the other 4 coasters I need to work on, because we have one done, we'll be able to, I don't know, maybe use it to help us out to increase the excitement rating. It's going to be hard because they have parts of the coaster already built, so I'll need to be creative on how am I going to complete them, and then having the free space to make them to look good or to, I don't know, work. But we'll see how it goes, and at the very least we were able to work on the base of the park, like the other rides, the thrill rides, the gentle rides, and even some other coasters that have been providing us the money for us to be working on the ones that matter the most. So at least that is done, and by the end of last stream we could see it has been providing us a good profit. So money may not be a big issue anymore on this level, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully because of the first coaster we can now work on the other ones with an easier time, and it won't be too bad. I'm hoping that today I can get at least 2 or 3 more coasters done, but let's see how it's going to be like, or how it goes, right? But yeah, let me load the file while I'm here chatting or introducing everything. Because then it can keep on going on and the years can keep on passing while I'm chatting, right? Because I do have something else to talk about. Okay, so this is the Dusty Desert. Also, my computer has been kind of weird and kind of slow today. So I'm really hoping that the stream goes well. I also had some dropped frames in the first minutes before really showing off, or not showing off, but like showing, right? Showing myself. So hopefully we won't have many internet disconnections or server issues or anything like that. Also, hey Gabriel, how are you, man? Talk about what? Oh yeah, since you are a subscriber to this channel now, I have some news for you. Some weeks ago, I was telling about this one extension from Twitch that's called stream stickers. And in the last streams, we have been testing many features of Twitch, and one of the features was the sound alert one, that we have been using some channel points to have the sound alerts to happen and everything. And then I mentioned that I heard about this one called stream stickers and I wanted to look into it. I did that this week. I still gotta make some changes regarding some of the custom stickers I worked on, but even though I couldn't make them to be usable, if you redeem them with like channel points, that's not a thing. The app, not the app, but the extension doesn't allow you to do it. I could make some of them for free for the subscribers. So basically, if you're a subscriber to this channel, you can now use as much as you want some of the stream stickers. And then there are 12 in there, if I'm not mistaken, but some of them may have some problems regarding their sizes. I'm not sure if they will look any good on stream, because I may need to work on them again to try making them larger so they can look better, But I was testing them yesterday and I'm hoping they are really working. But yes, if you're a subscriber, if you want to test them out, let's see how it goes. Although I'm worried about my computer today, but it's a feature that we are here testing and hoping it can become something good for the future. They also have some normal stickers in there, but they are bit stickers, like you need to use some 10 bits to redeem them. And there are also some possibilities for, like, in case we reach some levels of bit stickers being used, we can unlock more slots for the customized ones that I can give to the subscribers. So we can see and test them out with time, but just to let you know, now we also have them happening, or at least I hope they are working. Also, hey Kyobi, how are you, man? Did you complete Digimon? Not yet. I mean, I have beaten the final boss, but the Digimon streams are still going on because I'm still trying to get all of the Digimon registered and all of the attacks. But I managed to get the cards, I was able to complete the card collection, and I also was able to complete File City. We got every Digimon to move to File City. But no, Digimon is still going on Sundays, it's still not over. We thankfully could get another new Digimon last time. We got Giromon, and we may be able to get another one tomorrow. Because even if I can't get one normally, like thanks to Digivolutions or normal Digivolutions, I have an item that will give me a new ultimate. But I'm saving to use that item by the time that I get stuck with a champion that can't digivolve into something new. When that happens, then I will use that item to guarantee a new ultimate. But yes, Digimon is still going on Sundays now. Wait, you don't even know how to use the stickers? So if you are on your browser, like if you're watching me on your PC, on the description of the channel, there is two, I forgot how they're called, but I think they're called widgets. Two widgets. One of them is for the sound alerts, and the second one is for the stickers. I'm not sure if you can find that widget on a mobile, like if you are watching this stream on a mobile, if you can find it on the description of the channel. Maybe not, because when I was looking on my own description on my phone, I couldn't find anything. But if you're watching this on a browser on your PC, they are down there, and then you can find a whole list of stickers. They have the sub ones first, I think, that are for free in case you are a sub to the channel, and the other ones that are, they cost like bits, are at the end, right? They are past the free ones. But yeah, see if you can find them and let me know if they are working or if you can redeem any of them. When I was testing them yesterday, they were working, but I realized that I may need to rework or resize some of them because it was freaking hard for me to create those GIFs and also create the sound files. But I think the sound files will be okay because I forgot to mention this. The stickers also have a sound alert. So it's like a little bit better than the normal sound alerts because they have an extra sound too, besides the image. But I'll need to work again on the GIFs because some of them were not as big as what I wanted, you know? So yes, I'll need to try to maybe decrease some things I added to the GIF and make it more simple maybe, you know? But yes, I was working on them this week, and maybe next week I can have them better or improved. Wait, the widgets are there on the phone? There we go then, that's great. I couldn't find them on my own phone though. Wait, it's saying that you need to subscribe to me, but aren't you a subscriber? What the heck? Is it because you got a sub gift maybe? But that's very weird because it should be working, right? Okay, that is very weird indeed. I will wait until a person that subscribed normally, like Meowser for example, to see if he can use it, because that makes no sense to me. I thought that any subscriber, even gift subscriptions, could work. It makes no sense, right? Yeah, that's actually very sad. Especially because lately some people have been gifting subs in here, like Pilot and Belias. So there is a, let's say, a good amount of people that are regulars that got those gift subs that could be using the stickers. Oh, they are showing just above the chat? I see. I would expect them to be on the channel's description, but I'm not sure how they are really positioned. But okay, that's actually very disappointing, Gabrielle. I will see if I can find something on the matter, but I kinda uh, did what the extension told me to do to make them free for the subs. So even if I like try to search for more information, I doubt they will be doing something about it. But I wish I could like complain, you know, like, hey, stream stickers, how can't you make those stickers for free for gift subs as well, you know? But okay, that's very disappointing. Now I'm kinda sad because I wish more people could be using them. But at the very least, I will see if somebody that has a normal sub, if those people can at least redeem them. But anyway, here we have the level we were working on last time. Man, I'm really curious to know why is my computer so slow today. Oh, there we go! Gabriel did something. I'm waiting because of the lag, but let's see. So far, nothing, but it's normal thanks to my computer. Oh, okay, so it does allow gift subs to work. You had to allow permission for the widget. There we go, but actually I did see nothing. Or nothing happened to me. Never mind, I heard the sound effect and I saw the lucky one down there. Right? But what about the with that one? Could you see it? I couldn't see it because I'm seeing my OBS screen very small right now. And those stickers are very small as well. But I just noticed that I'll need to increase the volume. I'll need to make the volumes louder. But the first one Gabriel redeemed, I couldn't see it. But the second one is there still. It appeared there, there we go then. So they are working. Although I may need to make the volumes louder, correct? Because to me they sounded very, very low. But wait, there they are, right? There they are, that's how they look like. Although some of them I may need to resize or try to make them larger, even though they kinda limit me. I can't really make those stickers as large as I wanted. The only ones that will look like much bigger are the normal ones they have in the extension, which are the bits ones. They will look like with a better size, but I'll see what I can do with the customized ones myself. Yeah, that's the Riot one. I loved to put that song to it. But hopefully, even though they are very tiny, they are still, let's say, good to see or fun to use, you know? But they are somewhat tiny. But there we go, Gabriel is testing them, and thank goodness it's not a thing about having a gift sub or not, because, come on, every sub should count. But yeah, I was working a lot on this week to think on the sound alerts and also to work with the gifts, so thank goodness they are working. Okay, so yes, I was saying that this was the level we worked on. This was the first coaster of the objective that we finished. It looks huge, but that's how we finished it. Like, that's how it had to look like for us to get to the excitement rating they asked for. I wished it were a little bit smaller, but we could only finish it like that. And now I need to continue this red coaster right here, that other darker red coaster right there, this white coaster, and the purple one on the bottom, right? Yeah, right there. Or maybe blue? I think it's purple. So, do you guys want to pick, like, which coaster should I go next out of those four? I'm a bit worried about the dark red coaster because it is on the center of the yellow one, so it may give me some trouble, but at the same time, in case I manage to complete it, I can get some extra points or like extra excitement points because it's going to be scrambled with the yellow one, so I believe that's going to add a lot of excitement to it, but it's going to be complicated. Maybe this is the easiest one, although I'll need to go underground. Go for red, alright. There we go, I'm also wearing red, right? As the coaster, or yeah, that's a good call. But do you wanna see me start with any of them, like the dark red or the lighter red? By the way, Kyobi, are you a big fan of the Digimon World game? Like, have you been playing it, or did you play it as a kid or something? Speaking of Digimon, I got some videos on my YouTube feed, although I haven't watched them myself. But it's from this one YouTuber that he's somewhat well known, but maybe not too popular for, let's say, everybody to recognize him or have heard of him. But especially in the Pokemon universe, he's kinda well known. He's called Jaywit, and he released two videos about a Digimon card game. And I haven't watched those videos myself, but from the thumbnails and the titles, it seems that someone is coming up with like a new or recent Digimon card game that could be fun or good to play or something. So it made me a bit curious, but I still gotta watch those videos to understand what he was talking about. But I have never actually seen a Digimon card game here in Brazil. I have heard it was a thing, but I have never seen them selling them in here, or I have never played them. So you did play it as a kid? Oh, you were trying to 100% it, or you actually did it before? Oh, not too long ago, congrats! So I may not be going for 100% entirely because there are some couple things in there that I'm kinda not really going after. For example, the medals. I'm wondering if you have gotten all of the medals, because in case you said 100%, I'm guessing yeah. But in my playthrough, I'm fine about the medals. The medals that I get are good, but I expect some of them to be very complicated and very hard. So I'm fine if I don't get those medals, you know? Especially because it's complicated for you to know what are they for. And as I'm playing this game blind, or like without any information from outside or guides or anything, I have no idea what are those medals or how can I get them. And I doubt the game is going to help me regarding them. But yes, I'm trying to get maybe everything but the medals. The medals I'm fine. So there was a Digimon tabletop game. I had a Pokemon tabletop game. And speaking of tabletop games, I also need to watch another video that was talking about great tabletop games out there. I forgot to watch that one as well. Oh, the Dark Red? Okay, so let me go for that coaster as our second. But speaking of games, and I also messaged that on our Discord. These weeks on Epic Games, they are giving away NBA 2K21 for free, right? Even though it's not my game, or like it's not a game that I'm willing to play myself, I was surprised because in my opinion it is a very expensive game and I'm happy for the fans of it. But yeah, in case you like basketball games or something, go get that. But I'm very excited for next week because they are keeping it as a secret. It may be another huge or expensive game. I'm hoping it's going to be one that I like myself or that I can see myself playing. But still, I'm excited. I'm excited for these big titles or like harder games to get that they are kind of giving away this month for some reason. I have no idea why they are doing that. Maybe it's their anniversary or something. But yes, there was this one NBA game for free right now on Epic. The medals were really hard to get. Yeah, that's why I'm not really thinking about going after every one of them. And you had to follow a guide for that. Yeah, I think that it's the only way for you to figure what exactly they ask you to do, right? I know one though, because somebody kinda spoiled it to me when I was making questions to the chat, but it was like a minor information, so I'm not too upset about it. I was even kinda making those questions to the chat, so of course I would get some sort of answer from it. But I know there is one regarding the curling minigame. It seems that you gotta score like a crazy amount of points in that curling minigame for to get one of the medals. So you know it's extra, it's too demanding, it's too hard, and I'm kinda good about it. I really just wanna see all of the Digimon and work on the things that I can see myself accomplishing, like getting all of the attacks, and the other things like File City, and the card game as well, right? Getting all of the cards. But the medals is something that I can't see myself getting them easily, so yes, I'm totally passing on that. But have you played any other Digimon game? Would you recommend me playing any other Digimon game? Because even though I still have some things left to do on this one, on Digimon World, I may be moving on to another game, hopefully not too long from now. Let's say maybe 1 or 2 months? No, maybe a little bit more than that, depending on how things go, right? But yes, I'll need to see which game I would be playing next regarding the Digimon franchise. Of course, I won't be playing Digimon again anytime soon because we have been playing it for a long or a lot of time. But some people told me to like go play the other Digimon game that looks a lot like this one and not play Digimon World 2, for example, because it's very different, or maybe try playing the Digimon Cyber Sleuth because it has another RPG aspect. So yeah, you know, I wonder which other Digimon game should I consider playing next. Also, hi Ultras Ahoy! How are you, man? How was your week? Let me put the underground vision in here. Man, my computer is so damn slow today. We're doing okay? Me too, man. Even though I'm feeling lazy because of the lunch I ate. I had like Brazilian barbecue for lunch. So I ate a lot, and after that I felt very lazy. So Digimon Cyber Sleuth is really good, even though it goes on a more traditional RPG way. That's good to know. And it's also on Steam, so I could really consider getting it myself. You had a busy week at work, I'm sorry to hear that, but I hope it kinda was worth it, or like you were able to finish some businesses. But Monday is a holiday, oh, what's happening on Monday? So you'll be recharging, there we go. The weather has been warming here as well, even though I haven't gone to the beach this week. I'm hoping to go there maybe on Monday or in the beginning of the next week. So I need to like get my vitamin D again. But it's been cloudy and a little rainy. Oh, I see. So it's a bit different than the weather in here. We are not having rains in here right now. But you like the warm weather, or you like how it's looking like. You ate really early today, so you gotta make something again. Do you have anything in mind? Or are you going to eat those berries again with mangoes? My dad bought some mango pulp, but I told him to not really do that juice or make that juice because I'm not a big fan of mango. Oh, it's called Victoria Day. It has something to do with a queen or the queen of somewhere. It sounds familiar. I have the feeling somebody told me about it before. But yes, I'm not sure who was the queen. All I know is that you don't work, but you get paid as if you do. That's great. Kyobi played Cyber Sleuth on PS Vita. Okay, so you played it probably when it was released, right? Back in the day. And it is worth playing. So there you go. I already have it on my wish list. So as soon as it gets like a great sale, I will consider buying it. And Ultras is going for mini pizzas. Dude, it's been a while since I last ate pizzas. But remember that peanut butter I showed you last weekend? I'm loving to eat that with some mini buns. Yeah, in here we have some mini buns. They are perfect just with the peanut butter. You don't need to add anything else. You kinda slice it in half. You spread the peanut butter. That's it. It's been so good, especially because the bun itself is a bit sweet as well. So you know it's a very good snack. So I have been eating a lot of that. It's been just cheese and maybe oregano. Very simple pizzas, but that sounds good. But earlier you had minced pork with with beans, sprouts, and rice. Today I had barbecue meat, barbecue sausage, garlic bread, rice, vinaigrette sauce, farofa, fries, and that salad that I talked about once before as well. That's called mayonnaise, or it's kind of called like the mayo salad. It's pretty much chopped potatoes, chopped carrots. This one only had potatoes and carrots, I think, and then they get a mayo and olive oil sauce. So that's what I had for lunch, and I ate a lot. So I felt sleepy for the whole afternoon, and I had to take like 2 showers to really get energized. I took one shower after I woke up, and then I ate, and then I felt sleepy again, and then before the stream I took another shower to try to, feel a little bit more energetic. But it was worth it because I was not expecting my parents to order barbecue, so it was really great to eat barbecue again. So yeah, you bought 2 containers of raspberries, mango, pineapples. I was telling some other people about my favorite dessert, which is a pineapple dessert. It's a cold pineapple dessert. Now I crave it. Like I wish I had it. But normally my family only cooks it for Christmas. So there are still some months in there for me to have it again. But yes, I was craving pineapple earlier today. Dragon fruit, I still gotta try it someday, and peaches. And yogurt. That's the type of stuff you eat when you get the munchies. A lot of sugar, but at least not processed. Okay, yeah, at least it's okay, right? And it's like natural, especially if it is from those berries. Oh, you bought it the day after the release? Dude, Kyobi, you're a big Digimon fan then. I can't remember the last time I bought a game like right after the day of its release. Maybe it was a Pokemon game. Yes, I would guess some of my 3DS games like Pokemon Y, Pokemon Moon, and maybe even Smash Brothers. Yeah, Smash Brothers for the 3DS. I don't think I bought those games right as they were being released. But recently, I have been patient and I have been waiting for most games to get on sale or something. Oh, by the way, Ultras, I learned a Mega Man curiosity or fun fact this week that I wonder if you knew it. But did you know that Dr. Wily was inspired after Albert Einstein? First of all, they have kind of the same looks, or at least the same hair. And second, I didn't know that Dr. Wily's first name was Albert. So that was a fun fact I learned this week on Mega Man. Speaking of which, have you been playing it anymore? You were playing Mega Man 8, right? Or did you stop playing it after that crazy boss where you need to use the soccer balls to defeat him, or the soccer attack? Well, I'll try mixing this one coaster with the yellow one. Maybe we can call them later as the mustard and ketchup. Although I remember that I named the yellow coaster like loose laces or something. I should rename it after I'm done with this red coaster. Actually, this is the barbecue sauce, right? And then the... oh my god. We have the mustard, the barbecue sauce, the mayonnaise, and the ketchup right there. Or maybe gravy, although I have never had gravy and I imagine I wouldn't like it. But then I don't think we have a purplish sauce, do we? I can't name any of them. Maybe I can just call that last one like blueberries. So you are a Digimon fan, but you have more Pokemon stuff. I'm also a greater Pokemon fan, or I have way more Pokemon stuff as well. But I also really like Digimon. Even though I kinda grew up watching more of Pokemon or playing more of the Pokemon games, actually that game was my first ever Digimon game that I played. But I did watch a lot of the anime, and even though, let's say, those two shows or those two franchises are kinda rivals, I could love them both, or like, I don't hate one because I like the other, you know? I'm actually thankful that now I'm trying the Digimon games finally. It sounds just like a kebab plate with fries. Dude, I still need to try, you know what? I need to try kafta. Yes, I still need to try that Middle Eastern dish called kafta. I will need to go back to my apartment because in there, in my apartment city, they had a restaurant that was selling them. In here, I'm not sure where to buy a kafta. Probably there is somewhere, but I would still need to find a place, you know? But a kebab, I can't say I have tried a kebab. Also, hi Subaru, how are you? Since we have more people in here now, let me give you the news of this new feature we have going on the channel that Gabriel was able to test earlier. If you're a subscriber to the channel now, and if you're not as well, but then they won't be for free to you, we now are trying and testing the extension called Stream Stickers, and they are located, at least I think, on the description of the channel together with the widget for the sound alerts. So now we have sticker alerts and sound alerts. The sound alerts work with either bits or channel points, and the stickers they are working with bits as well, or if you are a subscriber. They don't have a channel points option, at least not so far. And if you are a subscriber, they are for free for you to use them. And so far, they have like 12 customized options or slots that are for the subs, and the normal ones that are from the extension are the bits ones, but the ones that are for free are the custom ones, the ones more about the channel and everything. So feel free to test them if you want, and I will also work on them again because I think that I may be able to make some of them bigger than what they are or how they look like, but also I can't make them very big in comparison to the ones that are already with the extension, like the bits ones. But I will see if I can make them better. So just to let you know, we have now that new feature going on too. And they are working, thank goodness. You are Swedish, Kyobi? Oh my goodness. Kyobi, I have been trying to learn a little bit of Swedish with my other friend in here, Victor, the guitar nerd, because he's also Swedish. And that's funny because I have a friend on Pokemon Go, not a friend, like a person, a Swedish that added me in there, but when I said a friend it sounded like I knew the person. I have no idea who that person is, but he's from Sweden. But he keeps on sending me Swedish gifts. And then I kinda write down the Swedish words and then I ask Victor like, what does this mean? So I can learn the meaning of those words. But I have been struggling a lot with the pronunciation. It seems that the Swedish pronunciation is very hard, or at least it's very different for you to get the sounds from the letters or the words, you know. But that's funny you are Swedish, because I have been trying to understand a little bit of Swedish thanks to Pokemon Go. I even have something in here if you want me to tell you. Let me see. Yes, I got this one word called milstolpe or milstolp. I'm not sure how's the pronunciation, of course, but it's like milstolp. It's M-I-L-S-T-O-L-P-E. Milstolp or milstolp. I'm not sure, but that's Swedish for sure because I got that from a Swedish person on Pokemon Go. So I wonder if you know what it means. Also, Subaru redeemed something in there. I saw the sticker, but I didn't hear the sound. I gotta tell you that I may need to increase the volumes for the sounds. Yeah, that's the thing, milstolp. What does that mean? Swedish is a hard language. It may be hard maybe for the beginning, right? Because at the same time, I imagine it may be something related to German. Here's a question though. Are there very strict grammar rules in Swedish? Because when I was studying German, they had very strict German rules. So basically, if you messed up with the positioning of the words in a sentence in German, they would not understand you. Like it would make the phrase or the sentence Wait, I will not try to say that one big word. It will make it not understandable. There we go. But I wonder if Swedish has the same thing. Like you gotta have a certain order for you to add the words in the sentence, because if you mix the order, it doesn't do it. Like you can't communicate like that. Yeah, that was one of the things that I struggled the most when I was studying German. That and the articles. How are the articles in Swedish? Do you also have like three articles, like feminine, masculine, and neutral? So milstolpe is like a milestone. Wait, did I pronounce it right? Although I can't say if I got it right at first or on the second attempt because I tried to change the pronunciation, but that's the Swedish word I learned this week. It is a bit strict. Okay, so it makes it hard for sure. It kind of takes you some time to think on how are you creating the sentence before you can actually say the sentence, because I get so worried of like not saying the words in the right order regarding the German grammar that it gets me afraid of speak it, or like I feel nervous when I'm thinking in German. So until I can finally feel natural about the way it goes, or my brain can finally accept the order of the words correctly, for example, the verb needs to come at the second place every time, or its position is the second position. So before I get that logic normally, or like my brain gets used to it, I won't feel comfortable speaking it. But I mentioned the articles. The articles are the other thing that make me super... They make me to super struggle when I'm trying to speak in German, because you need the articles for everything. You need the articles because they kind of have... I don't know if this is a right word in English, but I will try it. A conjugation. You need... The articles will change the way the other words that come after the article, how they will be said and written, and spelled. So you gotta know the article of the word, otherwise it's going to ruin your whole sentence. And knowing the articles in German words is hard, because they don't have many rules. You kinda need to memorize, or you need to really feel it, like this is a feminine word, for example. There is no pattern, or like not a big pattern. Plus there is a third article, which is the das. It's a new thing because in Portuguese I only have two articles, so it's a bit complicated. And then you gotta know the article, because if you are going to go for the grammar, you gotta know if it is an accusative, dative, nominative, or genitive sentence you are creating, and all of them will change the article in different ways. So if you don't know the article, you can't really communicate. You were getting those pizzas? Let's go, man. Go for them. So a milestone is like 10 kilometers. Wait a second. You mean a mile, right? Yeah, a mile is 10 kilometers. So it is a way to count the distance. Yeah, miles are common in the US. But I was guessing you guys were not using the that system. I thought in Sweden you'd use the meters and centimeters and kilometers and everything. Oh, you guys don't have gender specific words? That makes it easier than German then, because in my opinion the articles are a nightmare in German. But you explain the gender by saying his or her. Oh, it's not a mile, it's actually mil. It is not the same. That's funny, because the word mil in Portuguese, it has a meaning as well. It's the word 1,000. Mil means 1,000 in Portuguese. I wonder if... No, that's not going to be like the Swedish for mile, right? You are saying it's not the same. But that's funny, that word means 1,000 in Portuguese. 1,000 of anything, it's not a unit, it's the number. But it's pronounced like mil. Yeah, it's like the Pokemon. It's pronounced like Mew the Pokemon. Oh, they have like loops under the yellow coaster? Like that, for example? So 10 kilometers is a mil, and 1,000 meter is a kilometer. There we go. In here, do I know how is that? Like, like 10 kilometers? Let me Google that. Let me get my phone. Maybe there is a Portuguese word for 10 kilometers as well that I'm not aware. Okay, I found my phone. The word mill sounds a bit like saying mill. Yeah, it does. And then the Pokemon as well. I can't find anything. I'm not sure if I know exactly how to search for that information, you know. Maybe later I will try to look deeper on my search because I'm not getting any result. Or maybe there isn't a Portuguese word for 10 kilometers. So how are we continuing this coaster now? But Kyobi, besides Digimon, what else do you like to play? And Subaru, I was watching a video about Resident Evil 8. Even though I have been like careful when I'm choosing a Resident Evil 8 video to watch, I have been careful because I don't want to see that one monster that I'm freaking afraid of it again. But I kind of wished I was watching to some other videos, but because of that monster, I'm kind of avoiding them. But I watched this one about Lady Dimitrescu's origins, and it seems that she was based on three ideas. One was very obvious, which was Dracula. The second one was from a real person, and I think it was a woman, but I don't know her name anymore or anything about that anymore. But it was like a real woman that was kind of murdering other people to drink their bloods and keep her youth. She was like thinking that by drinking other people's, and probably young people, drinking other people's blood, she could still or remain young, or like she wouldn't be aging. And the third influence was actually a surprising one to me. It was Morticia Adams from the Adams family. So, yeah, did you know that about those origins of Lady Dimitrescu? Your therapist is Brazilian and she speaks good Swedish after just 5 years in the country? You know what's funny? I have heard that there is like a good, let's say, friendship going on between Sweden and Brazil. It's hard for me to explain why, but I have the feeling that the energy of both countries kind of go on the same ways, like they are both very energetic countries. So I'm not surprised that you have like a Brazilian therapist in there, because I do imagine many Brazilians go to Sweden and even Swedish come to Brazil, you know. But I it's been a while since I heard that, so I don't know how are things now today. Also, Reese, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome. How are you? But yes, like, that's great that your therapist is Brazilian. I wonder if you were able to learn some Portuguese from her, but probably not, right? And she was able to have like a great learning of Swedish after only 5 years. So you love Final Fantasy. My favorite so far was 7. Yes, Final Fantasy 7 was fantastic. I have only played from 6 to 9, but 7 was my favorite. And the next Final Fantasy I may be playing at some point will be the remake of Final Fantasy 1 and 2. I think it's called Final Fantasy Origins. I wish I could go into the next one in my order, which would be 10, but I don't think my computer is ready for that, so I may go back to the first Final Fantasies. And you play a lot of Final Fantasy 14. Are you excited for Final Fantasy 16? So normally I don't like very medieval looking games, but I gotta say that because Square has been working in the past Final Fantasies, in at least on my impression, of course, it's just my opinion. Maybe I can be wrong about that, especially because I haven't played those recent games myself, but from my impression, I felt like Square has been giving us a lot of modern looking and cyberpunk looking Final Fantasy games, like 15 for example, or even 7 Remake, that I felt was cool to see another medieval looking Final Fantasy after the last one I played, which was Final Fantasy 9. So even though I heard some people criticizing that game a little bit, in my opinion, I was happy for it, because okay, let's go. It's something fresher, it's something different. It's like a throwback to like Final Fantasy 9 and maybe some other ones I still gotta play, even Final Fantasy 6 as well. That's more medieval looking and stuff. So I'm actually excited for this one medieval game, or at least so far. But I saw some people criticizing it for some reason. Can't say exactly why, or I can't remember exactly why anymore. But I was excited. And I also gotta say that I have a feeling we are going to get some Final Fantasy news on this E3. Probably from the 7 remake, but maybe from both. Maybe from 7 remake and 16. Sabro hasn't heard of all of those curiosities about Lady Dimitrescu that I was saying, but he has heard of she being like based on Morticia. Yeah, Kyobi knows not a bit of, right? He knows Swedish, English, and old Scandinavian. Scandinavian. Here's a question though. In there in Sweden, do you learn English at schools, or do you need to learn it by your own? And since you are a gamer, I'm guessing you also could learn a lot of English thanks to playing games, right? That's how I got a lot of my English. 6 was steampunky. It had its steampunk as well, but mostly on those major cities, don't you think? Because a lot of the other cities were very medieval, don't you think? But yeah, there are some very steampunk or factory and industrial based cities in there. You were really disappointed at 15, so you don't have high hopes in 16. It had lots of machinery. Outside from Midgar in 7, we don't have a lot of machinery either, don't do we? So maybe Final Fantasy 6 and 7 have kind of the same amount of cyberpunk and machinery, and I'm kind of crazy. Because when I think about cyberpunk and Final Fantasy, I think on 7. But it's basically Midgar. Like, outside of Midgar, the rest of the cities are, let's say, more normal. Maybe not that other city, the one that has a port. I forgot how it was called. But then in Final Fantasy 6, I do remember a couple cities that were industrial, but I can't remember the whole game being industrial. The Magitech factory. Oh, I forgot about the. That's true, the freaking castle. Like the castle they have that goes underground. I forgot about that. It was based at the time when gunpowder and stuff were invented. So even though it is cyberpunkish, it is still, let's say, at a very old time, right? Because they were still developing gunpowder. Or gunpowder. Okay, so English is something you do learn in Sweden, like at school. But you also grew up with speaking English from an early age. I wish that people here in Brazil had more chances to speak in English themselves, because then we would have more fluent English speakers. I was reading a book, or I just started reading a book that was from a Brazilian English teacher that I actually love her YouTube channel. That she was giving me some information that only 2% of people in Brazil can speak English fluently. And I think that's maybe 10% or something can speak in English or understand some English. But it's because of that, like we don't have moments in our lives to really speak in English in here. Like everything is very Portuguese, and very few times there is like a, I don't know, a Spanish speaking person for us to interact. Although English is very important for you to get a good job. English is very important for, I don't know, the business uh, to be open to you. Like it can get you to many great places. But regarding speaking and communicating, like verbally, you don't see that a lot. We do use, or we do get the influences of a lot of English media and content and products and brands, but people don't speak in English to each other here that much. It's basically maybe reading things in English, or even writing in English, or listening to music and watching movies and series in English, but the communication, the verbal communication, it's very rare. Only in, I don't know, some works, right? Workplaces, or sometimes in business conventions and meetings. It had the trains, yeah, it had that train section. Yeah, it's not the whole game, but that's what I was also thinking, because Final Fantasy VII also doesn't get the cyberpunk idea for the whole game either. But I always thought on it first or before Final Fantasy VI, and now you're making me consider or rethink about it, that probably they both had the same levels of cyberpunk influence, but I never really looked at 6 like that. 15 is more of an action game than an RPG like the earlier Final Fantasy games. I wonder if it is any close to Tales of Symphonia or the Tales of games, because Tales of were action games. It didn't feel like a Final Fantasy game. But they are always changing the formula, aren't they? Every Final Fantasy feels, I don't want to say like a lot different, but at least different from the previous one. So maybe they did want to try an action course this time. But you know what probably ruined it to you, Kyobi? I wonder if you had high expectations for it. Did you? Because maybe you were expecting it to be, I don't know, a traditional RPG game, and then because of that first impression, you were disappointed after seeing it had a lot of action. Sometimes the games are good, but our expectations destroy them. So now that I know that Final Fantasy 15 is an action game, or it has like a lot of action going on, I won't grow in myself an expectation of it being a traditional RPG, you know? So maybe I will be able to enjoy it, or enjoy it a bit more by the time I play it. By the way, this coaster is not looking any good because I'm not feeling very creative, but hopefully we can still make something out of this. Wait, how can I... Okay, now I can go lower. There we go. This is what I wanted to do. So, Final Fantasy normally is a game that goes well. Oh, never mind. What Sabri is saying is that regarding Final Fantasy games, this is what happens. Normally, one game goes well or like it sells a lot, and then the next one will just be okay. So they keep on alternating. One game is great, the other one is okay. The other one is great. I believe that's what Sabri is saying. But then on 14, because it failed right in the start, the updates were able to save that game. It saved it so much that they are still going with it, right? I see a lot of people still playing Final Fantasy XIV. And then thanks to the updates, the game was saved. Although 15 was okay or bad, and then thanks to this logic or thanks to this pattern, Subaru thinks that 16 will go well. Well, from the trailer of it, I was hoping that, yeah. Ultra sent me a picture. Let me get to my chat again. RollerCoaster Tycoon always locks me on the game, so I need to open my task manager so I can use my mouse or my cursor on the chat. There we go. I'm guessing those are going to be the pizzas, the cheese pizzas. Yeah, those are the pizzas. They are looking great, man. Somebody requested one of the stickers. I was hoping for the food one though, but there we go. That's the first try sticker. Do you think I'm going to get a first try here? I doubt it. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling very creative. That roller coaster has taken almost an hour. Dude, that's how it is, especially on Saturdays when people are showing, and then we are now like uh, keeping ourselves updated to the news, or like we are starting to chat. It's always like this on Saturday's streams, especially for the first hours. We spend like 1, 2, or even 3 sometimes hours speaking, and then on the last hours I finally do something on the game. But today I was saying that I'm feeling lazy as well, so maybe I have a blame in here for that too, for not finishing up this coaster. But I'm also feeling not too creative, so it's going to be a struggle. But let's just make it crazy and it gotta do it, right? As long as it's crazy and it gets to the end of this, I think it's going to make it. All Final Fantasy games before 15 were turn-based and you like that. Yeah, especially because we can't really say that we have like lots of new games that keep on going on the traditional formulas. Like most new games today are something very different than old games, I would say. So having a franchise that goes for so long, like Final Fantasy, for example, you do create those expectations, or you do hope that it's going to keep on going like it has always been. Especially because, like I said, many other games that we get are not like traditional games anymore. And then you can get frustrated when it's not what you get, right? Let's see what they're doing with this 16. Hopefully we get news next month on E3. It's so weird, the background video just said that the year gunpowder was invented. Are they hearing what we're talking about? Like Google? People say that about Breath of the Wild. Well, now we don't have a choice. We are getting Breath of the Wild 2. Do you guys think we're going to get news about it next month? I have my doubts about it, but I watched the video of like, which games do you think they are going to be talking about next month? And the person or the guy of the video thought that Breath of the Wild 2 would be having some content, maybe a trailer. I don't know, but I also can't say that I'm full of hopes for, or let's say, I full of ideas of what they're going to present next month to me. I'm kind of lost on what to expect exactly, but I was feeling that Breath of the Wild 2 would not be announced, or at least we wouldn't get a lot of information of it next month. But yes, Breath of the Wild changed Zelda a lot. I would say that most people like the changes, but at the same time, I can't say they will keep that formula going forever. Maybe they will do something regarding alternating Zelda games, like we release an open world Zelda game and then we release a more traditional Zelda game. Although the traditional Zelda games they are releasing are kind of like the remakes of the previous ones, like Skyward Sword, and there are the rumors for us to be getting Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD for the Switch as well. Oh yeah, speaking of that, one prediction or one thing that some people are theorizing to happen next month is the new Switch Pro. Maybe we are going to get something like that, some big news of a Switch Pro. I'm still like not sure if that's going to happen, but as lots of people talk about it, it might be a thing, right? It may not be just an impression that, or like a rumor, right? It gotta be a thing. But yes, regarding this E3 in particular, I'm really not with many things to expect because I have no idea what's to come. I'm actually going to be very shocked with the news. I'm really hoping for it to be a great E3, but I'm low on my expectations for it. Final Fantasy 15 is a good game, but for you it's not a Final Fantasy game. I can understand that opinion, yes. Because they changed the formula so much, it doesn't feel like a Final Fantasy game. I can understand that. Look at this, this is not looking bad, guys. I have been able to mix them both. I just hope that the coaster or the car will have the speed to go through all of these parts. I also need to decide where am I going underground in here. Final Fantasies from 1 to 14. Have you played them all, man? If you have, congrats. Hopefully someday I can get there. They're all amazing, so that theory does not match for you. I have questions about that all amazing you said right there. Did you also like Final Fantasy 2 and RIP, our Egyptian music or ride that plays the Egyptian music? What was the ride? Oh, it's this one coaster, right? No, it's working. Wait, what is playing the Egyptian music? The Enterprise? Oh, this other coaster. There we go. No? The tower? Wait, I don't know which ride was playing it. But maybe for once the mechanics were fast enough to fix the ride? But I can't hear the Egyptian music. Maybe it's this one, 6. Okay, it is that one. Why did they tell me or show me that they were not playing that music? Oh no, it's because maybe it took forever for them to update the condition of the coaster to show it to me that it was broken, and then I thought it was still working. But you see, my mechanics in here, they suck. That's why I thought it was weird if one of my rides were fixed that fast. It sounds just like when the new 3DS got released was all a rumor at first. Man, the 3DS was a freaking amazing console. I can't wait to get a new one to replace my old and a bit broken 3DS. But the 3DS was... you know those console charts where they put like consoles to be clashing each other until you finally get to the last one you prefer? In the end of my play like that, I got my 3DS, or I got a 3DS being my favorite console of all time. It was freaking amazing. It's more like after 6, 7 is good, then 8 is okay, and then 9 was good, and then 10 was okay. Although Saber is saying that 10 makes him to sleep. Dude, please be awake when I'm playing it myself, because you know I'm curious to play Final Fantasy X a lot, right? 11 you can't remember, but it was good. And then from 10 to 12, it randomizes the variable, I'm not sure. 12 was good, 13 was okay. Oh, never mind, maybe you're talking about 10 too, right? Final Fantasy X too. 12 was good, then 13 was okay or bad. I hear most people saying 13 sucked. There was only 1 or 2 people that told me that they kinda enjoyed 13. I think that Godot or Daguerreo was one of the people that told me that they liked that game. 14 fails in the beginning, but the update made it better. And then 15 was bad. So 16 may be good. If at least half of the system is turn-based like 7 Remake. That's a good question, Kyobi. Did you like the change of Final Fantasy VII Remake? Because if you didn't like 15, maybe you also didn't like the changes for the gameplay of 7 Remake, did you? You have all of the games? Okay, so you gotta tell us what's your favorite Final Fantasy. Ultra right there is 6, as you can see. Mine was 7. Subaru's was... Was it 7 as well, Subaru? Even all of the side games, I also gotta play some of the side games. Except for Revenant Wings, I haven't heard of that one. You love Final Fantasy, you even have the Dirge of Cerberus for PS2 and Crisis Core. Yeah, people told me to play those too. Yes, Ultras only enjoys 6. He tried playing a bit of 4 and 5 and 7, maybe once or twice, but he couldn't do it. It's the nostalgia, man. But I still think you should try playing Octopath Traveler. Yeah, maybe there is a chance in there you could like it. Subaru's favorite was 7, there we go. 13 was good if you just understand it. Or maybe if you don't have expectations again, right? Because people say it's like a walking simulator and it's super linear. It's a very weird game, it seems. Final Fantasy VII was okay, even though you wished was more. I can understand that. Maybe it's just like what they did with Resident Evil 3 Remake. It was okay, but people wished it was more, right? Because they kinda got rid of some areas on the remake that people wanted to see. But you, oh my god, your all-time favorite Final Fantasy was 10. Look at that, Subaru sleeps to Final Fantasy 10, but Kyobi loves it all the way. I have a feeling I will like it. It may not be my favorite, but it is already special to me even before playing it. Because actually one of my first times getting in touch with something Final Fantasy was because of Final Fantasy X. And I'm talking about this one music called B-Sad Island. It's from an area in the game that I grew a connection, a strong bond, a strong connection with that song because it helped me to stay relaxed when I was going to have my final project in college. And that song, listening to that song every day and during those days or that time really made me peaceful. And in the end, everything was okay because of that song. I was not like panicking or getting super stressed, and that song gave me a lot of that peaceful energy. And then even to today, it's my favorite Final Fantasy song. So I will at the very least have a fantastic time by listening to the Final Fantasy X soundtrack. But then I'm also expecting the game to be very linear, to have very long cutscenes. Those are things that people criticize about it. But hey, because I'm aware of those details, I may not grow expectations anymore, or like expectations from the things that I would rather have in a game to like it a lot. For example, exploration, side questing. It's fine. I will just try to see what the game has that makes it good, or like what are its qualities instead of like its flaws. But I'm really hoping to play it at some or to play it someday so I can get to the soundtrack because B-Side Island is fantastic. And then also Crisis Core. I'll need to play Crisis Core. Crisis Core was the one that it's like the shooter game with Vincent or something, or was it the Dirge of Cerberus? I know one of them is a shooter. Final Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings is the 12 continuation or spin-off. I am really curious to play Final Fantasy 12. Isn't it the one that's about the Zodiac? Every time I see a trailer of it, it looks good. It looks like a very good game. You have Final Fantasy X Original for PS2 and also in the PS3 and 4 and Vita? You are only missing the PC version, right? But that's a lot, like you have a real Final Fantasy collection. So I will try going underground right here. Crisis Core is the one before 7. Oh, okay, so it's not the shooter one. Yeah, because I was going to kinda ask you like, you said that Crisis Core was one of your favorites, but in case it was a shooter, then maybe it wouldn't like it because you said that you prefer the games that have the traditional RPG style. Oh yes, you totally don't need the PC version for sure. But I may be getting that one to play. I also hope... Oh my god, look at the handyman. I also hope that the PC version won't have different soundtracks, because sometimes when they are porting a game they kinda change the soundtrack of it. It happened with Final Fantasy... Was it 6? I had to port Final Fantasy 6. I think it was 9 actually. But I had to port one of the Final Fantasies, or maybe two of them, because... No, 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 it was 8. People told me that Final Fantasy 8 for PC gets a horrible soundtrack in comparison to the original. It was Final Fantasy 8. So I'm hoping that when I get this one from Steam, it will keep the soundtrack like the original. Especially because it's called like Final Fantasy X Remastered. They can't mess up with a remaster, right? Or at least not mess up that bad. So where is the end of this coaster? Am I very far? I may be actually. Wait, where? I don't understand it. Does it end on the loop? Or is it on the station? Maybe it is on the station, right? Oh yeah, it's past the station. It's here. That's where it ends. So I may be a bit far from it.